Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle Edwards with REMAX Executive, and I'm going to go over the Working with Real Estate Agents brochure, which is something you should explain to your clients at first contact, however or wherever that might be. I like to put a link to it in my email signature and at the bottom of when I send my clients listings, just to get in front of that so it's always there. So right off the bat, let's just assume 50% of the people out there don't really know what a real estate agent does. And this is how I like to explain it in a fun, excuse my messy desktop, in a fun and exciting way. So hi, I'm Danielle, and this is just a state brochure that I legally have to show you. And surprise, I'm a realtor, and I'm just going to really quickly explain what my job is, and I will leave this brochure here with you. If you want to read it in your spare time, knock yourself out. So my goal here today is to win your trust either as your listing agent or to win your trust as your buyer's agent. And my job is to represent you in your best interests. So let's real quickly just skim over this. So if I'm representing a seller, let's say I'm at a listing appointment. So as your seller's agent, I have your back. I'm going to be loyal to you, truthful to you. I'm going to promote your best interests. But remember, do not sign the listing agreement or avoid telling that listing agreement anything you would not want a buyer to know. So if you're interviewing several listing agents, you choose one, then you tell the other two all your deep, dark secrets about your house. That agent might be the agent who ends up ironically bringing you a buyer. So just keep that in the back of your mind until you actually hire someone, what you're disclosing. And then we're going to come back to dual agency. So buyer's agents, this is great for, open houses. This is great for your buyer consultation. Because a lot of people don't understand the need for a buyer's agent and how they're compensated. So how I normally say it is in the early 80s, there was no buyer agency and buyers were fed up that they had no representation for themselves. So now we have something called buyer's agency, and we are actually compensated by the seller. The seller has agreed to pay that listing agent a fee to sell their home. And if a buyer's agent goes knock, knock, knock on the door, I have a seller who wants to buy your home. Now that fee that they've agreed to pay the listing agent is split normally in half to pay the buyer agent's firm. That's very important. They pay the firm, and then the firm has a cut and pays their agent. So your buyer's agent is not getting all of that money, but just really important to understand. Again, same as the listing side, don't tell your buyer's agent anything until you're 100% sure this is who you want to represent you. We're going to follow your lawful instructions. We're going to do all the digging for you, material facts, find the CC&Rs, which are the community documents. We're going to see if they have a survey. We're going to see if it's in a floodplain, all that good stuff about the house. We're going to see if permits were pulled. So that's what a buyer's agent does. They set you up with a closing attorney. They set up the inspection. They should be helping you get quotes for repairs and negotiate repairs. So that's a job of a buyer's agent. And really, we're kind of superheroes. You don't see us sweating, but we're working really hard to make sure you have a great experience and we find all those red flags. Now, dual agency, if you're working with an agent who's with a big firm, like I'm with REMAX, so I always do this. REMAX is a big firm and we have tons of little REMAX agents. So dual agency could be, I'm showing you another REMAX listing. So you're going to need to understand dual agency as they're with my firm. I might not even know that agent. My firm, personally, we have so many agents, I might know the name, but I might not know them. So that's why we agreed to dual agency. Now, what happens if you end up wanting to buy a listing that's your buyer's agent's listing? Well, now we're in a little bit of predicament. So that would be called nevertheless, the buyer's agent must treat buyers and sellers fairly and equally. So the dual agent owes the same duties to buyers and sellers, and we cannot divulge certain confidential information to the other party. So let's say this one's going through a divorce, this one just won the lottery, whatever it is, certain things like that, you're not going to divulge. Personally, I like to represent just one side, whoever that I was probably loyal to first, because it's really important that there's no gray areas and everyone feels like they're protected. So if that were to happen, I normally would have that conversation with my client, and we either discuss if they would like me to designate them an agent to represent them, or if we feel, given the situation, whatever that might be, that I can place Switzerland and we can easily get the job done. So that's really something personally in my business I just take on a case-by-case basis. And, that's that. And just remember, if you're a seller's agent and you're working with the buyers, working with the seller's agent, same thing. I mean, they represent the seller. So watch what you tell them. And it says it right here. You should avoid saying anything to the seller you do not want them to know. So it's just like when you go into a car dealership to buy a car, you're not going to go into that car dealership, oh my gosh, I love this car. The car's amazing. You don't do that. You're like, oh, well, I'm going to go check out the dealer down the street. You have to play it cool because they represent the seller. And then lastly, this is just where you sign a date. So more importantly, this is not a contract. So for some reason you fill this out, but you have not filled out a buyer agency agreement, you're not under contract with that agent. So a lot of times people will call me and they're like, well, I think I signed something, but I'm not sure. Like, well, if they just signed this, then they're not a contract. So just keep that in mind. They're just doing their job, and that's that. So we will let me know if you have any questions. That's the Working with Real Estate Agents brochure. That and understanding due diligence to me are the key points of starting the home buying process. And it's really important you understand it and your agent hopefully has done a good job explaining that to you. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.